So yesterday we have started discussing about the positional file, and we created the positional file, and we understand how the positional file is going to be generated. So now I will rerun the job. I'll just restart again, recap the things whatever we discussed yesterday. So this is created. We'll go to the positional file. So this is the file yesterday we created. So positions are going to be like n number of length you are going to give to that field. That many places it is going to be give it as empty, like you don't see that any data or anything. It will not immediately connect with other field or something. It's going to leave that space empty, whatever length you have provided in the positional. Like a positional, you are giving a position, so you are saying this is the position you have to sit, or you have to place that data within that positions. It's going to be 10 positions, or it's going to be 20 positions. So whatever you are going to define, the same thing is going to be there. Okay, so that's where we created, and we understand how the positions are going to be populated, and how to define, and what is the alignment. So you want to write alignment, so you want to check that data into the right alignment, then you have to select the right. So these are the options you can just play this. Not generally we'll have a left to right anything we are writing, right? Even when we are creating a job, we'll follow the left to right. So anything will start left to right. So very rare case the right will be there. Center is even I never seen a center. Only right or left they're going to create in a positional file. So you can just select the alignment so that it will start writing from right to left. The numbers will change from start writing from right to numbers or content, whatever it is. So it will start writing from right to left. So alignments, it depends. Generally left and right will be there. So mostly we are going to get data, or we are going to generate data always in a left to right. Whatever file we are going to generate the content. So now you see, right? It started from 10th position to one position, like a position, first position, 10th position to first position. Like that is a 30th position to 11th position. Like that data is going to be populated. It depends on whoever going to use this file, whoever ask you to generate this positional file, it's going to be generated like that. So coming back to Excel, we try to understand that auto sizing. So auto sizing, how it is going to work. Let me rerun this one again. So we have provided a length more than 30 characters something for this reference field, and we try to make this auto size. So file is regenerated. So what file we have provided, we have to check the file name. I didn't remember. Let me check the file name. So it's a one. So we are having that row generated .xl data one. Let it open. Meanwhile, we'll continue. So hope you guys able to the positional file creation, writing the positional file. So same way we usually nowadays write all our like a transactions in a web, like a web service calls and all. So there we need a there we have an option like we don't have option to traditional databases. There they'll ask you to pull the data or write the data onto the XML or JSON. So when you are going to create a XML file, whatever data they have, they're going to use somewhere else. So they want to share the Excel format, like XML format, the data what you are going to produce in your output. So outbound file, they'll ask you to populate as a XML. So we have a component again XML also. It's a plain. It's not going to be. It's not a service or something. So you are reading data from one table or a file again, and still they ask you to prepare as a XML for their input. So for their whatever service or whatever processing they are doing after you generated this file XML file, so they want that XML structure and all. So they'll give you that what is the structure, how it is going to be look like and all. So in this case, we'll try just what are the things we have to configure for this XML. So again, I'm copying same row generator, and I'm trying to check that what is the things. So whenever you are creating output, so first we have to go to where we want to place this, where you want to produce this file. So the path we have to choose. So I'm going to give as usual, we have a folder, data folder. Under data folder, here I'm going to give row generator and dot XML. So all real-time data are ever existing, they have any services you are going to call or integrate with other application, then the data transformation will happen through this kind of web related technologies files, XML and JSON. So there you have to produce the data or read the data from XMLs. So file where we have to place, we have selected.
Our screen is not visible. Please share the screen.
Is everyone facing the same issue? I'm already sharing.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, whoever not able to see, just log out and log in again into the Skype.
Okay.
It's your internet issue. Okay, no problem. Okay, so the tag, so root element. So what is the root element? Or so now you can see, right? We have placed a file in the specific outbound folder, and here what are the option? We see the root tag. So how we'll have a please go on mute everyone. I'm hearing some echo. So root tag. So what under what is your record root element, or how you are going to define that XML? So XMLs, how it is going to be look like, right? So most of them you have seen that XMLs. Maybe you didn't get a chance to work or something, but still I'll give the background how it is going to be look like. So this is the record, right? So this is the record. You want to give that web technology related files. So web technology means we have a JavaScript and kind of HTML, these things, right? So all like all whatever web service nowadays, the data will be transformed into one place to other place, one application to other application. So instead of reading from relational database or some other NoSQL or legacy, whatever like old database, that won't help. That won't be very quick data transferring between the application. So that's where they found markup languages and all, HTML, JavaScript, Node.js, whatever, like a browser level client level, the validation of processing whatever client submitted, it will go to the server. That's entire communication. We know how much valued nowadays centralized applications. So there they come up with the XML and JSON, which will help to transform data between application to application, or even connecting to client to server. So that's where we are going to use the XML. So it's a very like very first XML. After that, they have given that JSON facility also, but earlier all the services, all the transfer like markup related languages, everything they'll use the XML. So XML is a tag based kind of file. So however, we'll have a header, right? Here header is nothing but a tags. So each and every column is going to be stored in a tag. So tags is nothing but it will be like enclosed with the less than and greater than symbols. Here you can see the ID, and end tag is going to be ID. So each and every column is going to be placed between the tags. So tags nothing but a column name, and they'll put in less than greater than symbols, so they'll call it as a tag. So here you can see ID is 1. Next column is name. So name will be stored in a again this tag, and you can enclose this with this one. Like this, it is going to be stored your data in a this nothing but a each and every column you are keeping that column name and ending the column name. So this is how they are going to define that XML structure. And what is the root tag for this? You want to keep this, it is a customer data or a training data, whatever. So whatever you want to keep that as a root tag. So what is this data? You have to explain. By seeing this, we have to understand, right? Who is this Krishna? He is a training related guy, or he's a employee. So you can keep the root name of root tag of this XML. So XML is going to be looks like it's a tag based language. It will be enclosed with less than greater than symbol, and it will each and every column, each and every record will be stored in tag. So that's where we have to understand what are the root elements, or what are the sub elements, what are the attributes we want to store in that XML. So this is how your XML going to be look like. So you can have some samples. You can find you can find that in a W3 schools. You can get some sample XMLs, and you can find what are all the elements, what are all the attributes. So you can take one example when you are practicing and try to utilize how to try to call or try to read data from talent. So that will give you more exposure on this XML related activities, because nowadays, right, all whatever real time data we are integrating with the talent. So you can see, right, this is a sample. So you can find that some note they're having, and after that it is a kind of mail they're sending. They're having that what is whom they're sending, and from whom they're sending the mail, and what is the header and what is the body, something they're having that mail related communication in XML structure. This how the XML is going to be look like. So now here also, what is the root tag for us? So you can put data. So just we are generating data, so I'm not going to worry about tag name, what exactly it is meaningful or not. Just it's a data. So what data it is, we know. And we didn't have a connected to the input component. That's where you are not seeing the seeing that. And you can see what else we have. You want to split the files in a several files. So if you have used data, you want to split it, you can use the splits output files. So right now we don't need to do we don't have that many rows. So if you have it thousands of rows, and you want to split that into every 100 rows, you want to create a one file request or something, then you have to choose this option. Right now we have 10 rows, so we no need to worry about it. And creative does not exist. This is option we are very familiar with other components also. If there is no there is no folder where you are specifying the file to be stored, then it will create that talent will help you to create the folder all. So you want to keep a root tags, you can add that root tag. If you don't want, you can keep it that data and use dynamic grouping. So you want to grouping elements in a grouping, like under which column you want to have multiple attributes. It's all depends on your requirement. So you can just try to add whenever you are familiar, when you are practicing, take one example and try to configure and start using an advanced separator numbers. So this also we are familiar, other component also we have seen, right? So you want to separate the numbers, like if you have any numeric fields in your data, you want to split that like a positions, and you can see the decimal point of things. You can how many decimals and how you want to specify. These are all default. Still you want to use that numeric separation, then you can use the comma. You want separate, you want a different separator also, you can configure in this thing. And don't generate also. Now I hope you are all familiar. So if you don't want to generate empty file, if there is no data, then we no need to we have to check this option, or it will generate a empty also if there is no data coming from input. And stat catcher statistics, this is again a common feature, and it will get the component related statistics, how many rows and all. Okay, so this is how we'll have a output XML also. First we'll see the basic settings, how it is going to create the XML file. Okay, I'm deactivating this because we are try to open that. So others are okay, others we can rerun. So now so now you see, right? Whenever we gave the auto size for Excel, so automatically it has increased the width of that field. So if you are not giving this auto size, then it will show that less width. It will show. It will not show the complete content of your file. That's what we try to understand. That's where we have selected the auto size. So whenever you give the auto size on Excel related, so automatically the width of the column cell, the width of the cell automatically increased. Earlier it was like this. It is not completely fully visible. It will just some text you are able to see. Whole text you want to see, you have to see like this, or you have to manually open this and all. So instead of that, it is a tool, it's a framework, right? So they have written that kind of code. So whenever you select the auto size, automatically based on the bit length or characters, number of characters in your text, that much like it will try to elaborate that cell. That is the option. Okay, so now we are good with Excel, and we are good with the positional file and XML. So XML also created. So this is how we have a data. So data is going to be, we have given the tag. So root is a like a parent element. So under root, all these tags are there. So each and every record, it has created a separate tags. You can see that ID and reference and current date, city. So whatever elements or columns, this is nothing but a table. How you are going to see the rows. Here we are going to see as a, it is again one row. It is again one row. It is one row again. So here they are going to call as a elements and tags, whatever. So this is a one element. This is a one element. So column is going to call in a DB level, and we are going to call as a tag in a XML. So all markup language, XML, JSON, they'll call it as a like a tags, attributes, properties. So you want to have the naming change, but the intention of the things are same. So how you are going to generate data in relational database, and here it is going to be, it's going to be look like a tag based file data. So it is like each and every row you will have a header. So this each and every row you can see the header. So what data it is, but here you don't see it is a data type and all, because again it's a file, right? In any file you are writing data, if any type of file, you will not find what type of data based on column name. You have to understand, or based on, they'll give the like a layout. So for XML they'll give a XST, so XML schema definition. So what column it is, a int or it is a string or it is a double or it is a float, so they'll give you XST. So based on XST you have to follow the mapping and all in your talent. But coming to flat file like a delimited file or Excel or these things, so you cannot see. By seeing data you cannot identify what type of data it is. It is a data type you cannot find, but data you are able to see based on label, based on headers. You can able to understand this is related some varchar, this is related to string something. But coming to data type, you have to follow the like whatever they are going to give mapping, or whatever the definition of each and every table. Based on the output target table definition, you have to create this. So same if you want to read this, so what we have to do again, so you want to read from positional file. So what we are going to do, we'll take a input. So if you want to read the data from positional file, you have to use the t input, t file input positional. Okay, so now again same whatever we have seen for other delimiters. So after creating this positional file, I want to read from this positional file whatever is created by the before process. So we are going to connect with this on subjob. Okay, and we'll map that where is the file is located. So we'll go to that location. So it is asking first we have to for a positional file, right? So after selecting you can find that where is the file located. But here what is the difference is, right, what other things you no need to worry about the length. You just copy the schema, it will work. But here you have to make sure what position to what position the file is going to give the field data and all. So here you can see, right, pattern, and here you can see that header. We don't, if you have a headers, if generally I told you, right, so positional file will not going to see the header, but still some cases they'll give a header. So you want to have skip the header, you can skip the header and footer, and you want to read the limit data from, if you have 1,000 rows, you want to just read from this one. So now the positions you can see, right, the pattern. So you have to first get the layout. So layout in the sense you have to copy what file we generated. It's very simple, but like just to specify the lengths and the pattern. So just to we have to mention the each and every field length. So we are copying that because we have to know what is the schema and what is the length. This one, right, earlier we are not worrying about any lengths and all, but coming to positional file, we have to make sure the length is defined properly in our schema. Otherwise it cannot able to follow what you are. So here, right, you just simply each and every field, this is nothing but a length. So you can just mention 10, 20, else 10, 20. So this is a pattern. So pattern in the sense it's followed the each and every field in the layout of the file. So first column is a 10, length is 10, and second column is 20, and third column is 10. Like that, it is giving the pattern for each and every field. So now we have to just we'll go and get that into the log row. Now you see, right? So we are able to read from that based on our positional file. So you can see that. So that's how you have to give the positions. So you have to make sure the what is the length of the each and every field. That's nothing but a pattern. So it's going to be we'll have another option when you are going to use the metadata. So that we'll discuss in few minutes or tomorrow's section. But right now we are right now we are just using the built-in and options, and we try to understand what are the files we have and what is the input and what is the output and how to write onto the file, how to read from that file. So hope you guys able to follow till now. So till now we have seen different files, almost 4 types of files. It's the same way you can just practice with a JSON also. So always in your whatever migration or integration, mostly you are going to work with a delimiter file or a kind of positional file or XML or JSON, and obviously we'll have Excel, because Excel is a very old technology, MS Office, right? And you can find if they have any file system, obviously they'll have flat files or Excel. And if the customer has upgraded or few years back, then they will have a service calls and all, then you will see the XML. Otherwise always you have to deal with flat file or Excel file. And beyond that you will have a positional file also if the customer is using specific kind of for sure it's going to be a old thing which is implemented the old system that is not going to allow the kind of XML or Excel something, then they'll use a positional file. So specific to that you can remember, and you can talk about mainframe. When someone asks you want to go to in an interview, you can say, yeah, we have a mainframe system. There they'll get a positional file. They're going to give the layout before start working on ETL process. So that is a best example for mainframes. So they'll share with the positional files most of the things, but they can also generate Excels and all. But positional is very easy for them to generate, and some process will help them to validate easily. So there you are going to see the positional file. And XML and JSON, it's depends on the customer have any services. Mainly they are dealing with any web services like SOAP or REST. Then you are going to see that XML and JSON. Other than that, even they have the data warehouse or legacy applications which they have a very old. They'll have flat files and Excels. So these are all the 5. And other than that, if you see like latest technology, so many things. Nothing. There is nothing. You have to just select the component. So Parquet files or HDFC, HDFS. So all these files, just you have to specify the location, and we have to find the what is the options to get include header. These are all going to be the common, and you can find other than that the technology related extra 1 or 2 features in the basic settings. And again, so advanced settings, it's up to advanced. The keyword itself, their Thailand itself, they're saying, right, advanced. If you want to go something beyond what we are given, what you have in basics, then you want to go advanced, then only we are going to use this. How all the file related components we are going to use in a Talent. So till now, if you feel any question or you have any related question on these files, you can feel free to ask. No? Okay.
I have one question, Krishna.
Yes.
So yesterday I have created .xls file.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm trying to read, right, I'm getting OLE streaming issue. So that is the error I got.
Yes. Yes.
So later I changed the encoding to UTF-8.
Okay.
And it started working fine. Like I'm able to read it and able to open the file in local PC also. So usually, what kind of encoding we use while writing files?
UTF-8 will be the default we're going to have. and it's again another way it's going to be it's a all libraries. So these are all connected with the Java. So whatever technology you are going to have a Java related latest jars and all, you have to get installed. This is a open source. Okay, so OLE format, it's a UTF is a default in general we are going to use, and nobody will kind of define that. Even I haven't seen, they won't define you have to use this ISO 3678 something, UTF-8 or something. So whatever default is there, it is going to work. But if it is not working, you can just try with different encoding things. And mostly where you are going to see this kind of issue, like it's going to be a issue with jars libraries. So this component, right, this is not this is a simple looks simple, but it has a like a it is created a Java code, and it has own libraries and all. So coming to if there is included, it's not defined by the talent people. This is a existing technology. Like a positional file is a concept which is available in market. So what they will do, they'll just try to get that existing jars and they'll integrate with our software. So Excel is it's not defined by the talent company, right? It's defined by the Microsoft. Again, like a DB, Oracle. So Oracle is created that component, like that functionality to read and write. So that related libraries are very important. So UTF 8 is going to be default. If you are facing that streaming issue, it's again it's not only encoding, it's again libraries what is installed in your mission when you are trying to extract this software and all. So that these kind of things in an enterprise level, we won't get kind of these issues, but open source you will see this. Okay, hope you are getting my
Yeah, yes. I'm aware of this Excel actually. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, coming to talent, it's specific to you are going to get this streaming and reading. So now here also I yeah, you have asked a good question. So here you can see, right? So even if you are having Windows 7 and you want to write the XLX format, then you have to select this option. If you don't have a jar installed, then it will prompt you install the jar, because it's going to be a different old like Windows 7 that related library. It should be available in your installation path and all. Otherwise, it will not work. So here. So you have to click on that install. If it is enterprise, it will automatically get from the repository and all. But otherwise, you have to Google it and get that what you want. So here, right, whatever encode you see, you can leave it default. If you feel something, these two only you are going to see, like UTF-8 and ISO 89351. This one. And you have anything specific custom? I never seen they have any custom. So generally between these two we can select and we can default it. If you leave it, right, even I can right now the default one it is there, but I'll leave it this one. I'll see if there is any issue to generate this file. Let me close this. Okay, I'm creating data. see the job is completed. See, I didn't get any issue, right? So file is generated that UTF-8 also. It's all depends on like your machine libraries and all. If you select any encode, it won't differ like talent won't differ anything. It won't throw any error. So now I didn't get any issue, right, while writing or reading data. So same. Okay, so default whatever you can leave it. So still if you see any issues, it's you can just change that one. Okay. So I just generated one sample data to check that CSV. So this is a inbound. So somebody shared this file with us. Okay, so this is going to be inbound for us. Okay. So they mentioned it is a CSV. Okay. So they have a file they have shared with us with a name, address, city, state, zip. Okay, so this file they shared, we have to read this file. I'm creating one more exercise. Sriram is asking, yes, we have a primary key option, but it is all related to database file related. You if you see that if you check that primary key, so file cannot understand, and there is no update option, right? So on the same keys where we are going to use to update the data or upset the data and all, but file the concept is just you have to insert or append the data. So what there is no point of checking the key and pointing the key. So here you can see, right, the ID is a key only. So every customer has unique ID only 212. These things we can able to understand it is a key only. It's a unique and it's not duplicate here in this data, but file it doesn't mind. It is a key unique or it is a repeated, so it won't understand. It will keep insert or append the file. So that's where I am not talking about a key concept in a file. This so we'll see, and now we can see how that key check in a talent for it. If you want to make sure you have checked that key in a file also. So it's provided as a CSV. So what file we have to take CSV, and what is the separator comma. So what component we are going to use? What component we have to select? T file.
T file input delimited.
Yes, correct. So you can interact, guys. You can start interact, and it will be helpful to you, and even I'll get more confidence. You are able to following whatever I am talking. Okay, so we have taken the component. Always what we have to do, we have to go to the schema and you have to define what are all they have provided in file. So ID, so you can select a file again. I told you, right, if you define data type or if you don't define anything, doesn't matter, because it won't understand what type of data it is. It's not just a flat file, right? But make sure the schema you are followed proper data types and all when you are defining schema. Also, I'm copying this address. So in real time, right? Some people to avoid any such kind of issues with data type and all they'll put as a string. They'll read the data while inserting to the target place. They'll make sure what data type it is looking for. If you define the here a default like a decimal data type or whatever, you will see different kind of situation in a real time. So they simply read as string. All data they'll read it as a string, and then they'll start converting and loading data respective data type on a target side. But better practices are you can just start use proper data type. So whatever data type you feel or whatever layout they have provided with you, so follow the same for start to end. So that is my suggestion. But in real time, you'll see some people files, they'll read it as a string. All data, they'll read it as a string. And you have to make sure what column names they have given, what the naming convention, it's a camel case or uppercase or lowercase, follow the same thing across the wherever component you are defining. So schema, whatever we have in the layout, same thing we have to follow. That will help for you to make sure things are properly used and properly followed, whatever they define. So somewhere you'll follow A is a small, and somewhere you'll follow capital A. So it won't throw any error, it won't harm anything, but it won't good looks good when somebody reviewing your code or somebody copy pasting your schema into their job, and there they'll see that kind of issues when they're trying to copy this field name and all. So strictly, if you go for a relational database, you have to give that column name should be the same. If you give something else, maybe if you have underscore, you don't like to underscore between the column name, but DB has defined, they have given the underscore for the column. So you have to use the same. If you remove that underscore and you will put address underscore one underscore two like that, you will see, right? You cannot remove that. You have to use underscore one as it is how they have defined in a target. Okay, so zip is again, I'm going to give integer because it's a numeric data we are storing there. Okay, so others are all door number is a combination. So we can go with a string. Where is a door number is address, right? And start giving here is the thing. So you have to define properly the lengths also. Even it is a file, it won't if it's a delimited file, it won't check the how much length is there. Based on the separator, it will start splitting that column, right? So it won't bother about what length you have provided in schema and all. But still, for best practices, you have to define. That will make sure you have followed whatever layout they have provided with you. These are all best practices, guys. It won't harm if you are not defining again. I'm keep telling. While practicing itself, you have to start following the naming convention or length definition. So whatever schema definition, everything you can start day one onwards when you are practicing. So that when you go on real-time project, somebody is not doing also, you can suggest and you can feel that what is the difference between him and you. Okay, him or her, whoever you are going to work. And I have selected the file and I have started separator is a comma, and header, we have a header, so we don't want to write header, don't want to read, and we don't have a footer anything in this files. And limit, I don't want to use limit, and anything else it's a reading. So you want to trim spaces, we'll see that. Yeah, with this we have done the basic settings, and I am going to print on to the, and I want to write on to this Excel. First we'll see log row. So main connection, Hope you are following main collection, why we are using syncing the columns, and I'm trying to run this job. Tell me what is the flaw in this flow. Yes. So if you see right, it is throwing the issue with the data types. That's where people, what they'll do, simply and Sriram asked the question for keys. So here you can see right, key is in a table definition. You can see that key right, for understanding, or you want to make sure that schemas are followed the whatever they have given layout. You can just check here key, but there is no concept of key for files. So it is a unique or non-unique, it doesn't matter, but still you want to make sure to understanding if someone open your like a job and they're seeing, so what is the key column for this file, what is the key column for this data, not file, what is the key element for this data id, so that you can represent, you can click on that key, so it will indicate, so this data has a unique column id. In the file we have a unique thing or not, we cannot specify, but still you can represent that this data has a key field, unique field, that is going to be the id. So just you can check that box, it will make sense. The data has unique column in this file. Okay, so I'm just rerunning again. So copy this error. It's done. So now you see right, so what is happening here? So one, Krishna, door numbers, whatever is there. After that, it is splitted city as a Jubilee Hills, and state as a like opposite Hanuman temple and all, and zip we don't have, and it is a it is given as a Hyderabad as a zip something. So what are the defined schema is, you have defined schema for 5 columns. So what are the columns we are defined here? How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And how many columns we have in a file? 6 columns. So that is correct only. So what is the flaw here? What is the issue here? Can you tell me?
I think we have 8 values, I think.
So we have 6 columns and we have a
Data.
Yeah, what is the issue here? So you can see, I'll copy this output also. What is the issue and what is our expectation actually? Can copy, you can see what is happened. So what is the issue?
Comma.
Who is that? Yes, so that's what I try to explain. That's why I make the mistake. So here, right, that the talent or any coding, any standard, it will separator. I already told you, right? So based on separator, it won't worry about the length. We have given that characters in the length of address. So it is not looking at that length 30 characters till this or not. It is not worrying about the length. It just looking for a comma separator. It identified the separator after the door number itself. So that's why it is splitted address as a door number and city it took as a Jubilee Hills and all. But this is entire thing we have to get under address field. This is not a separator. So but code as a talent as identified separator between the address. So that's where it is splitting. It is treating city as a Jubilee Hills, state as a Hanuman temple, and zip as a Hyderabad. After that Telangana pin code, so whatever is there, it is ignored because your schema is six columns only. So after that comma have 2 and overall we have 8 fields or 10 fields, it doesn't matter. So 6 columns, it identified 6 separators. So 6 columns are there, it will look for a 5 separators. 1 2 3 4 5. So it will look for, you have defined a 6 columns and it look for 5 separators. So 5 times the separator. So it look for a 5 separators and it identified the separators in between the data and it is populated. So this is a behavior to avoid this kind of mainly with the CSV file. We have an option to get this one done. So they'll put that entire text in a double quotes. So it will treat it as a single field. So this is how they're going to give us input. Even if you are generating a file, this kind of situation, there is a chance of data we are going to have a comma separator in between. So in that case, you have to make sure enclose that string in a double quotes. Then it will not split immediately if it finds a comma in data. It will check entire enclosed string and then only it will start splitting that separator using that separator. This is specific to CSV file. You'll see this issue with CSV file because CSV in the sense it's a delimiter, right? So delimiter, whatever delimiter you are using, right? So if the delimiter is having in between data also, we have to carefully take care of that. You have to keep the data in enclosed. So if you are using a pipe separator, but pipe is also there in your data, then you are going to lose the flow of data. So you have to make sure it is enclosed. For example, pipe is there and here you are used a pipe as a separator. Then what will happen after one Krishna is it splitted and door number it is going to be splitted. So we have to carefully, so what is the separator we are using? If the data has that same separator in between the data, so if it is there has it has that data, that kind of thing, then you have to put that in enclosed string. Then it will treat whole this as a one string. So door number 2 till this temple. This is a whole as a string. So address, it won't split immediately if it finds a separator also. It's not only comma, if it's anything. If you are using any delimiter, make sure the delimiter is not between in the data. Even that's where they'll share a file with enclosed strings if the data is going to have a separator. Mostly we'll put usually, right, if you are writing address, if you are writing some mail IDs, you will put a comma. If you are mentioning any names, we'll put a comma, right? You can reach out this person something, you'll put Sai comma Tirupati, like that you will put. So just comma is going to be chance of repeated in your data. And other delimiters also there is a chance, but still to avoid that kind of situation, you have to enclose that in a double quotes. So it will treat whole thing as a one column. So a whole address is going to be, this is a complete address. So this address I want to get under address column. So for that purpose, we have to keep the enclosed quotes. Now I am done with that putting in quotes. Now what we have to do, So now where to configure that option? When you are using a file input delimiter, you have to find that option, right? So there is a CSV option. You can find that enclosed character. So it will look for double quotes is there or not before the string, after the string. So first it will go to that ID column. It will check double quotes is there before ID, after ID. So every field it will start look at that double quotes is there or not. If double quotes is there, then it after that it look for comma. Like that it is going to check that. For that you have to use that option, CSV option. You can find the text enclosure. It's mentioned CSV, but it's going to be any kind of delimiter. But most of the things it will be comma is going to be repeated in our data between, right? That's where their intention mention that comma separated value. CSV is nothing but a comma separated value. So that's where they are using this escape character and text enclosure. So now I'm going to run this job. Now you see, right? So entire address that whatever we have in the file is coming under same, and zip and state, everything is populated. So now it looks good, right? So this is the intention why I am telling it's not about comma. It's going to be any delimiter in between. It is repeated in data. We have to make sure that is enclosed with the quotes. So quotes is going to treat as a string in Java specifically. If you are defining any variable, so if you are typing name is a variable, then how you are going to define? You will put double quotes. How many names you write doesn't matter if you don't have a separator, anything. If you put comma also, but it will look for where is the starting point of your string. So double quote is the syntax. It will look for that syntax. It is enclosed with the double quotes or not. So that entire thing is quoted between double quotes or not. This entire thing, three names, but comma separate is, but still it is a single name. Rama, Krishna, Sai. This three are maybe one name, but it is treated as a name and a variable. So double quotes is a starting and double quote is ending. This enclosed string will define all three are one field. So name is a one field under three like three words are there. It's a name, it's a complete one name or a three names, we don't know, but when they define it is in a double quotes, that it will treat as a single name, single word. So this is a single name. So name Ramakrishna Sai is a single, that's just a name. Same way it will treat in a here also. So you write a number of names here. So Manohar is other name, or it is a last name for Krishna. It doesn't matter. So it will treat as a Krishna Manohar is a name. See, it is created. Krishna Manohar, it is not splitted because there is no separator. Even I am going to add a separator now. You don't see that. I don't see that. Now you can see, right? One name. So I'll add a separator between Krishna and Manohar. I'll put all other delimiters also. Can put anything, but it will look for double quotes where it is started for name field double quotes and where it is ended double quotes. That is only code will check, and then it will start parsing that data. See, right? See, right? It is splitted. It's not splitted. It's treated as a whole, as a string, and it is whatever is there, just it will read and print it. Okay, so coming back, we'll try one more delimiter for better understanding. So I'll replace this. Okay, so hash is our delimiter. I'm going to remove this. Okay. So what we have to do in our job, we have to go and change the separator. So it read properly, right? Because we have enclosed with double quotes. It's not comma separated. That's where I just use a different delimiter. So you will think CSV means comma separated. This option for only comma, not like that. It's just their intention. So always the comma or whatever delimiter. So separated value should be in encoded strings. Then it will be treated as a single field. That's the intention of that option. Okay, so now I'm going to add here, and I'll remove this double quotes. Remove this double quotes. So now what will happen? We'll see. What will happen? The first record is going to be overlapped with that pin code and all, because it's a separator as defined. So now you see, right? The first record we didn't get the pin code because in between the name has separator, so that is not enclosed, so it is treated as a next field. So now you see, right? Address is Manohar because there is no encoded string for name. So this is a mistake. So even when you are somebody is sharing file, this is going to happen. This is called erroneous, like erroneous record. So you have to say you are not properly encoded the name. Because of that, the first record is giving the problem. So data is not correct. So in a zip place, you will see that Telangana. So zip is not coming. So this record has error. So this one you have to capture and you have to share with them. This is the rejected record because it is not followed the whatever layout or whatever things are given by the mapping. So it is not followed, and others are looks good data. So that's how you have to validate your data after loading. So when you are dealing with the files, you have to careful about the what is the separator and how they have defined and how many columns are there, how many separators are there. Separators are important. So if you have a 6 columns, then you have to have only uh, five separators in between data. More than that you have it, you have to check it is enclosed with the double quotes or not. If it is not there, then the file has some issue. Then you have to ask again to reshare the file, or you have to manually fix and proceed with. So if you want to fix this one, what you have to do? So you have to take care that. So you don't want to lose that data. You have to take care that manually. You have to do this. Then you save it, and I'll remove this. You have to do manually. So that is a rare case. They'll give 100% good file. If sometimes they'll do mistakes, then you have to revert them. They'll reshare. Okay, now it is read properly. So we have manually corrected that file. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. We'll continue tomorrow.